into this week's video. I've just been driving along some countryside road in wherever I am, and I've spotted a few dead cars. So I want your opinions on what you think, because some of them look like they are never going to go back on the road again, but others, I don't know. I think they might be in for a second chance. So let's go and have a look together and I'll show you what's here. First things first, let's have a look at this Saab. Now this is interesting because it's got this sticker on the window, and that is a sticker from Copart. So obviously someone's bought it from a salvage auction, either to use for parts or to break, but they haven't really done either by the looks of it. Can you get in the bonnet? Well, hang on, no, it's a Saab, isn't it? They are hinged the other way around. So you sort of pull it back and then it goes over there. Now, I've seen a few dead cars, and to be honest, this isn't much different than the rest of them. Look at that. Loads of snails down in there, rotting in the corners. Yeah, I don't think anyone will bother doing this up. It's only going to have been a cheap car if you bought one that wasn't all crashed and smashed up. And look at all of the rust down the bottom of the windscreen. That's definitely, yeah. Is it open? Yeah, why would you bother to lock it, right? I like that little piece of metal work there, that's cool. But yeah, not really too much to see here. It's been stripped out, so maybe it has been used for parts. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Shut that bonnet back down. I love it, look. And then you just push it back. Oh, isn't that great? Now, you've probably seen next to this in a few shots is this massive, great Volvo 740 hearse. Well, 740 is a big car anyway, but this is just humongous. I wonder what bottom gear. I wonder what the story with this is. It doesn't actually seem like it's in bad condition. It's got a little bit of bubbling there on the paint, but right. Let's have a look inside. Aha, 121k. A few years ago on another channel that we have called Car Soul, we did a review on the 740 and it had the same interior as this, and I will put a little link to the description, in the description. And this takes me back to that. I love these horns as well, just even that noise is quite nice. But obviously with a vehicle like this, it's what's in the back. I wonder how many dead people have been in here. And look, they've managed to cut the sides off, so I don't know, can you have people? I can't really see behind. Can you have people in there? I guess, oh yeah. I guess that's so you can really be with the coffin. The thing is though, there are a couple of these 740 hearses still left, and they get used as campers. I've seen a few. At Shedfest there was someone who had one, and it's a good way to keep weird old vehicles going. So let's have a look at next door, because there's another one there. Yeah, look, this one's been stripped out as well. 142,000 miles. These are not very high mileage, these Volvos. That's oh, this is like a half leather, half velour seat. I actually really like when cars are like that. That's got a manual sunroof as well. I think maybe these are unusual with sunroof, so, you know. I was going to say it's nice to see them actually, but of course it's not, because stuff like that's only going to end up in the bin, isn't it? It's got a little dog in the window, some nice alloys. I can't believe that I found one of these in the UK. I think this is even rarer than some of the finds that you get in France. We're going to ignore what's next to it for a minute, because I'm going to show you something that's just so much nicer, in my opinion. Look at this. Why is this just abandoned? Honestly, what is wrong with people? That's got 51,000 miles on it as well. Now, this has had some parts stripped out, but it looks like it's kind of in the middle of being restored, you know. I really don't know whether this car is meant to be living or dying. Oh, and I hope to God it lives. Look at that. When do you ever find a Mark 1 Renault 5, especially with that mileage? What a find. And do you know, I really like it in black as well. Paintwork's not too bad, really, when you think about the age of it. I like those wheels. Oh, it's got some original stickers on it. Oh, and look, these mud flaps as well. Those are brilliant. What's it like underneath? Rather solid as well, actually. I'd say she's probably being restored. But look at that. Someone's put bloody parking sensors on it. Mind you, I will say, parking sensors are probably the best modern invention you can put on a classic car. And if I could, well, someday I would like to put them on my classics. The DS definitely needs them. Such a long vehicle. How nice is that though? Little Renault 5, that's really clean. Is it crunchy in here? No. Solid. Well, that's not metal, is it? Yeah. Honestly, that's really clean. I would love to have known the history with this. What a really nice little car. That would be a perfect starter classic for someone as well. Ah. Well, whatever this place is, I seriously hope that makes it out. Next to it, this one's also obviously come from an auction because it's got "Do Not Lift" written on it. We've got this Aston Martin DB7. Now, I don't obviously find Aston Martins in car graveyards. This one is in an outside car graveyard, which makes it even more unusual. Look at that little... Is it open? The hood needs a bit of work, I think. I mean, I hope this isn't for parts. Although, it wasn't ever really the most exciting Aston, was it? DB7 Vantage. Let's have a look. Now. She's an auto. I think you'd want manual, wouldn't you? I don't know exactly what. I find something slightly disappointing about Astons from this era. I think it's things like these switches aren't very nice, and you know, it's all very Ford Fiesta-y, and I know lots of bits were pinched off the Ford, but look at that. That is from a Ford Fiesta. Why is that in a vehicle like this? Seriously, I'm sure I've seen that exact switch on a Mondeo ST24 that I did in one of my auction videos. You know, why are you using parts bin switches? And then you've got something that's lovelily crafted like this with that lock-in set right next to a Mondeo switch. Weird. Don't get it. However, Aston Martin obviously bucked their ideas up because they make some beautiful cars at the moment. I will say I think it would be rude not to do this. Let's have a look in there. Right. Now that's a nice sight, isn't it? I love to see these stickers on these, all the plaques. How about in England? Kevin Wilde, number 1142. Lovely V12 in there. Bit of condensation forming actually. But under a lot of covers, but what a nice sight. I think perhaps you can probably overlook the Ford switches when you've got that under the bonnet, don't you? Front of the Aston, we've got another 2 Volvos. So this one's got a nice Persian carpet in the back of it. Let's see what this one's like. Now that's interesting. That's a really fancy set of seats in there. What's going on with this? It's got its original rubber mats. This must be a really high spec one then. What's the mileage? Look, 235k. Yeah, that's a proper Volvo mileage, isn't it? And look, you get, because it's a car from the 80s, you can adjust all your frequencies and your equaliser, which now in a modern car is in some stupid crappy menu. And it's got wood trim so that you know that you're from the 80s. Honestly, probably my favourite one here. So thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. And I really mean that because it's been a real tough time for me lately and I could really do with all the support I can get. So please, if you did like this, do drop me a sub. Make sure that you check out me on Instagram at @RoadToRust and the same name on TikTok. I will be posting some pictures and videos and everything for the day. Thank you all again very much for watching and I will see you again next week.